What's going on, everyone? First attempt at doing this, hitting my head on that already. Let's maybe move that up. All right, we're gonna be building a table. Not exactly sure how it's gonna go yet, but we're gonna make it work. I got this all set up right now. Basically, as you can tell, I'm running out of room. This was just makeshift what I had. So I'm basically gonna tear this out, reorganize, get some of this consolidated, and then I have a large piece of glass from a door job that we're gonna use as the top for this table I'm gonna build. I'm gonna see if some of this material I can use, whatever I can't use, I'll have to pick up. But yeah, I'm gonna get started here, just cleaning up and organizing, getting some of this ready to go, getting it out of the way. And yeah, see you when I'm done with this. Making some progress, got some stuff organized. Here's what I had previously. Throw together scrap. All right, say goodbye. All right, so as you can see, made some progress. Put together a little, I guess, material and plan list, whatever you want to call it. It's all tentative though, but this is a rough idea. So yeah, here I brought the piece in, the glass piece we're gonna use for the top. It's pretty good condition. It was an old sliding door. Gotta clean up the edges and stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna buff it out, see if it cleans up a bit. But I don't think it's a huge deal either how clean it is, because that's what I'm gonna do under it. Should be, you know, it doesn't have to be like crystal clear, but yeah. All right, off to get some stuff. Wasn't really able to use a lot of this. I'm gonna try to use non-treated wood for most of it or all of it, because, well, you'll have to wait and see, so tune in. All right, back from Menards. Got our particle board for the bottom. Got some 4x4 cedar, 12-footer, some 1x4 cedar for the perimeter, 4x4 pine for the inlays, kinda, and then some just regular 2x4 for our framing. So that's about all we needed. There's our table, still sitting back there. Got some legs that should work. I just realized they're a little thicker than 4x4 here. Some lip sticks out a tiny bit, so it should be fine, but these were the best option for the price and stability, for weight and stuff. So got some glue here, and yeah, it should be pretty much everything other than, you know, plenty of screws here and there. I can probably figure out. Gonna buff the glass. Don't think I'm forgetting anything, but yeah, that's all I got for today. I am tired, have band practice tonight, and I'm just gonna call it there for the day. I don't really want to get started with anything else, so we are gonna call it a day. All right, make sure to tune in to see what I do with the table. It's gonna be crazy. All right, peace. What's up, people? Back here again. Got another day to work on this, another half day here or so. I think the plan is to set up a chopping station. I got a lot of cuts to make. Try to get all those cut today for the inlays. Maybe get some of the legs cut up and some of the frame done. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I only got about a few hours to do this here, so we'll see if I even get all the chops made, because it's gonna be, if I remember correctly, it was a couple hundred blocks we need. What do I got here? 220 it looks like, so it's a lot of cuts. We'll see where we get, and hopefully I'll get some footage of me chopping for you guys. All right. That's what we're working with. Got my jig set up, cutting at about just under 3/4 inch. Decided to go a little thinner to make reduce weight, and then yeah, ready to do some chopping. Now I just need to chop about 200 of these suckers, 200 plus. Try to set you guys up so you can see some of these cuts. Looks decent. I'll show you what you're working with. Gotta have the tunes on, obviously. You get the idea. That's a bucket full. Not even halfway. Let's see on the other side. You can't even hear me. Alright. Got one of the 4x4s chopped up. All that dust. Starting to lay out the frame underneath. There's all the blocks there. Yeah, getting the frame laid out. It's gonna hold up the sheet, which will hold up all the blocks. And then the glass will go on top of that. So it'll be a lot of weight, but most good tables are heavy. Just chopping up the frame here. Gonna probably try to get that one chopped up too, so I can get this torn down, and that'll probably be it for the day. It is cold in my garage. This Minnesota weather is no joke sometimes. All right. Whew. Well, there you have it, folks. 2 4x4x8s cut up into about 3/4 chunks. There they are. Got this framed out. Gotta get the pour out. All I'm gonna be doing for today, I gotta get cleaned up. I'm going to watch my wife's volleyball game. All this dust. Oh my god. I hope that's enough cuts. Sure feels like 200 plus cuts. Oh, my shoulder. Wonder if there's a better way I could have done this. Don't really think so with the stuff I got, but worked out pretty good. I'm excited. Excited to start actually putting this table together now. That was pain. Alright. I'll catch you all next time. Alright, back at it for another day. Probably about enough, a month and a half later. It's been a while, so been busy. Yeah, as you can tell, haven't made much progress. Got these blocks all ready to go today. Got the frame. As you can see, the table is working real well, even though it's not even, you know, done. But yeah, so hopefully today get the wood. Just got the tank filled. Get the wood burnt up today and some of this table glued together. Okay, got the frame laid out on the particle board so I can trace it. I don't know if you can see that line, probably not. Tracer. Cut that out, that'll be the top. And I flip that over and then blocks will go on top. So get that cut and then start gluing that up, get that secured and get this stuff cleaned up. All right. Had some extra adhesive laying around, figured why not use it. Right. Tricky part, try to get it right in position without smearing it around too much. Ooh, just like that. Oh, hold on. Oh, she's already grabbing. Power grab, baby. Loctite. The viscosity just holds it in place. It's pretty good. We're hanging a little there. I think this corner was pretty square. I have to do a little bit of shaving down the edges, or planing rather. Yeah, that's pretty good there. So now what I want to do is just put a few of these screws in. I think I can just use this guy too. Let's see how that works. Hopefully I get the right angle on there. Should work pretty good. I don't need to get too crazy with this. I should have got this table higher. I'm not bending over so much, man. Avoid bending as much as I can. The wrong ways, at least. A little bit of glue out there. Might be off on that one. Should be close enough. One nice thing about laying these 2x sideways, you got more room to hit them. Hopefully I am hitting them, yeah, okay. That is a done deal. Now, shave down the sides a little bit. Just right there, overhanging. Right there a little bit. Other than that, good to go. Ready for some, well, start doing the bottom frame legs, and then I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this wood burning, so to be determined. All right, catch you later. All right, so I think I got the framing sort of figured out. It's kind of impromptu, making the legs, kind of just had no real plan for it. So these are a couple brackets I had. So I'll probably have to get a couple more of them. And I'm just using these cut off pieces, basically from made some cut off pieces, 3/4 wide. So basically the skirting around this will come up right to there. It'll just be covered, and then that way I can butt the legs all the way in, and then I'll probably screw all the way through that and have some exposed screw heads so you can see them. So I can always take it apart. I think this is gonna be the easiest solution. Gonna try it out. All right, got the legs cut, got them figured out how they're gonna go on. Hopefully they're short enough. I want it pretty tall, so that's about all I can do for now. I gotta go get my kid. But yeah, so it's gonna be the outside framing. I should have got a little bigger skirt board, but it'll work. Here's the test burn. All right, until next time. All right, so next day, this is a mock-up. Got the legs set in place. Figured I got one of these longer brackets for the long side and one of these shorter brackets for that side. Still not quite sure if I'm gonna use the cedar material I got for like the skirting or whatever you want to call it. I might get something a little wider, actually, like 5 inches, 6 inches, but I'm also debating on if I even use this glass countertop and maybe just skip that and just do straight epoxy top, because it would avoid having so much weight, and then, I mean, the glass is kind of pointless anyways. And that way I could basically, I should be at just about the right height too, with them blocks on the top of this. So I don't know, it might just be the way we're doing it. It might be scrapping the whole glass top idea, which not really a huge deal, but I was just gonna use this glass top from a door from a job. So I don't know, I really don't know. We'll see, because this would definitely work good for a top too. So if I do that though, I'm gonna need to get slightly wider material now, because adding these, they're gonna stick out just a little. Didn't really account for that, so not a big deal. Could have them stick out too. Really not a huge deal. We'll see. I'll have a better idea once I get this thing actually put together, so keep you guys posted. Alright, so made some quick modifications on the fly. Basically, it's because the wheelbase was a little too wide. I was worried the screws might chip out, you know, this side. Easier to see on this one, you know, because it'd be right on the edge, essentially. Had some scrap, 1x material, and I boxed it out, basically. So now, all right, so I made some adjustments, modifications to the base, because these ones were just barely big enough for the 4x4. So yeah, I put some 1x4 on the bottom just to give it a little more flair too. So here's the other ones. So as you can see, what I've been doing is just, I had those extra screws that I still used here. They work perfectly for there, so using them up, marking with a center punch, drilling her out quite a bit, because I already had a little bit of splitting in this one in the very corner because it was so close. But yeah, drilled it out more and it was fine, so just gonna drill her out. Yeah, get these two on, and gonna get it flipped over somehow without putting too much pressure on them legs, obviously, because they're not fully tied in yet. You know, the perimeter's not put on or nothing. So But yeah, they're pretty solid, as you can see. I mean, this one, it's got some wiggle to it, but to be expected. It's only really tied in on the one side. So yeah, we will fix that. Oh, I hope this fan is not too loud for all this audio, because that would really be annoying. But actually, here, let me show you one more thing. I decided against doing this like 45 type thing, because I would have to do a lot of cuts basically if I was gonna. I wanted to make like a pattern in it and do like certain ones, like row here, and offset them. Because of how many of these split, it's gonna just look cool enough as it is. Really get the natural texture too going. So yeah, it's gonna save a lot of time not doing that as well. So yeah, on to the next steps. Catch you there. All right, made some progress. So I put this basically bracing on. I was going to use this as the perimeter for the top portion, but I decided to get something larger, cover more area. So I just used this as like, extra bracing on the legs, and I'm going to have this little shelf. Basically, I just got these little cutoffs gluing on there, so it'll be able to slide back and forth and not fall off. Probably put a little T or something here to give it a little extra support, but I'm not planning on putting anything too heavy down there. Just add a little extra something to it. But yeah, so once that sets up, as far as these, I just got them. I should probably put a clamp on them, but I figured they would be alright. But yeah, they're just moving all around. Yeah, so once I get that, now I can flip it, I think, and start working on the actual top. Yeah, these wheels turned out good. Already a lot more sturdy now too, so I don't know if it'll even get more beefy once we put the actual perimeter on the top of it too. So all right, on to the next part. All right, looking like a workbench now, huh? Got her flipped over, worked pretty well. Good thing I supported it. I ended up scrapping that idea with gluing on top. I made some just cut off pieces and teed it, give it more strength, and then put this little 45 cut off down here just to give it a little more support. Just slide it in and out as you please. And yeah, rolls around nice and easy. So now comes the fun part. All right. Made some major progress, as you see. Got it all basically done on the perimeter. I'm gonna do some lag bolts through the bottoms to tie it all in. These aesthetic ones here, I'll show you them later. But anyways, this part is probably the most satisfying, but it was a pain to get the perimeter all put in. So I didn't have the correct size exactly because I was going to the size of the door. But yeah, it was very close, but this part's actually been super satisfying now that it's actually come together, because basically the wood blocks kind of hold each other in, pushes these joints back together. So I was thinking to myself, like, how am I gonna glue this in? Because I need to get it all to fit correctly first. I was like, well, maybe we just say skip the glue, because I'm gonna be epoxying over all this, right? So what's the point of putting glue down? It's gonna be all epoxied in. So I think we are completely eliminating the glue step. So another thing we can just avoid doing, kind of save some time and kind of not really a necessary step. See how this all kind of moves as one? Once it's locked in, then you can kind of place it where you need it. Yeah, give yourself a little more room probably than I did, but I like her tight. Had just enough blocking. As you can tell, I don't have much left. Kind of similar to just like wood LVP, kind of, it just locks itself in together. Obviously a lot different, but the last row is gonna be the testament. A couple of these test ones. Oh, they smell burnt. Smells good, I love it. Love it. I don't really like how that lines up with that same one. Trying to avoid, lining this up, but at the end of the day, there's a seam everywhere, so you can't really avoid it no matter what you do. Actually, we got plenty of room here, which is actually good, because now plenty of room to kind of shift it back over. It's kind of hard to move it all because it kind of all locks itself in together. Yeah, as you can see, that's pretty good already. once I fill it in with epoxy and everything, like it's gonna be looking nice. Gonna be looking very nice. Is that burnt? So yeah, I'm gonna probably, I don't know, I was thinking about like trying to plane these a little bit, but I don't think it makes any difference because I left this little lip here so we can basically epoxy up to that, you know, fill in, make it level. So yeah, I think this is ready to be, wait, let's see, that's in, yeah. This is ready to be torched pretty much. The only thing though, I might have to pop this perimeter row off and put the glue underneath around the perimeter. That was going to be the sealant was going to be, or the glue was going to be the sealant to prevent the epoxy from running through. So now it could potentially run through the sides, which I don't want. So that's kind of annoying, but at least I can pop each row individually and do it. It should not be a big deal. All right, I'm gonna call it there for the day. We gotta go to the store and get my kids still tonight. So got a lot done and I am stoked. This is coming together and it's looking sick. Warmed up quite a bit. I think I'll have time to do this epoxy now, hopefully. Yeah, I'm gonna basically pop this row out so I can slide these forward and glue the edges. That way, I don't know if you can see that. That way the epoxy don't go right down in there. Yeah. All right. Let's do this thing. Maybe a little more gas, no? I'd have to adjust some of these a little bit. Might have all dried like that. Might end up having to glue them down. I think once they cool down, they'll flatten out a bit. But yeah, that's sweet. All right, got her inside. Looking good. And some of these pieces keep popping up a tiny bit because basically the wood expanded more than I thought when it dried out from the burning. It almost kind of caused them to rock like that, you know? But I think it'll still be all right. I'm gonna hopefully mix up some epoxy here, and then hopefully I got enough to fill in all this stuff. I would think it is, but I really don't know. First time doing epoxy. Let's see how this goes. I'm just gonna take it slow and mix up 1 cup at a time. All right. we shall see. All right, ran out of epoxy. I'd say I got, I don't know, maybe a bit over half of it done, because it's still got more to do here. I think I messed up and tried to pour too much, honestly. I should have done it in layers because it keeps pushing some of these up a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much as long as it doesn't push it up too high, you know, which I don't think it will. I think it'll kind of level itself. But yeah, so got another couple jugs of that epoxy coming. That should hopefully get us to a working countertop. Yeah, it looks freaking awesome so far. Look at that. I got all that burned up deep. All right, well, once I get the epoxy in, I will update y'all. Hopefully it's fine just to do coats like that. I would assume it is, because this stuff should just dry clear. But yeah, like I said, not an epoxy expert. All right. All right. Got 2 coats of poly on the sides and the legs and everything. Bottom piece. Yeah, this is how far one of the sets of epoxy got us. I got another couple jug here. Well, one, it's 2 jugs, but it's 1 set. So yeah, hopefully that should get us about right. One thing I can say is I wish I would have glued these down like I initially was planning to, because the epoxy actually worked its way under. Okay, check that out. Just got the second batch of epoxy put on. As you can see, it's pretty much all the way to the rim. But there's still some voids. There's a few here and there, so I think I'm gonna have to get one more batch of the epoxy, just because, especially like you see, this corner's lower. I'll have to, when I do it, make sure this is perfectly level. Because obviously it's all over the place, but man, this is just so sweet. This epoxy is kind of a pain though. I probably did not do it in the best of ways, but I have some tips for y'all. I would say cut the top of the jug open for the one who doesn't come out. Probably should have cleaned that up better, but here we are. Just in a time crunch earlier. For this, getting it into these voids was actually pretty hard. I just used like literally this painter's like 5-in-1 or whatever, 7-in-1. But yeah, if you had enough of it and you just worked it as you went, kind of like grouting, I would have done better, but it all worked out. It just took a lot longer. So yeah, I think, fortunately I'll have to get one more jug, or 2 rather, but I'll have left over to do something else. It will, once it dries, should clear up a little more too than that. Some of it's kind of white. I don't know, I was hitting it with the torch earlier just a second ago, just taking out some of these bubbles, and it seemed to work, but I didn't want to get too carried away with it. They still keep coming up, so they must just come up over time. I'm sure this will take a while to cure, but dude, just look at how cool this is, man. I'm so stoked with how this turned out. The definition on these legs too, I don't know if you picks it up, but I wish I would have went a little lighter actually on the burning, because once I put the clear coat on it, it darkened everything up even more than being outside too. So yeah, but either way, it is freaking awesome. All right, well, I will update you guys as soon as I get the final coat on. All right. All right, what's going on, guys? We're back here. Been about probably half a year. It's been a while. Not gonna feel like it for you guys, but there hasn't been any progress, obviously. I put the epoxy down, and I'm not really sure. I either got the mixing ratio wrong, or there was just, you know, some residual, basically when I scraped out the bucket, maybe like hardener or whatever, one of the two. And so, because I tried to get as much as I could out of it, but clearly that was the wrong call. So as you can see, there is, it looks like it's very tacky. And so, you know, everything I've read, obviously I'm not an epoxy expert. Like some spots it's like really solid, like that's solid hard. Yeah, so I'm hoping, I've got about a 1/8 inch to make up here, if not more, 3/16. I'm hoping I'll do a small or a thin layer here, you know, to fill in some of these voids too that didn't get fully set. And hopefully that'll, you know, take care of like the drying problem, hopefully. And then there's some stuff I gotta like pick out of here, basically some little almost bugs or just like little debris from, you know, half a year of sitting here. Been having to move it around basically. Not ideal, but finally got the time. So anyway, I will keep you updated on the progress here. So yeah, I'm gonna start with getting any of these little chunkers out of here and then do a little thin layer. All right, see ya. All right, what's going on, guys? I don't know if I exactly recorded everything. I might have forgot, so I'm not great at this. Anyways, I'm gonna basically, I had to transfer a bunch of files, so it took a while, but now we're back and we are going to strap you guys along because now I got more, you know, storage space. So basically, if you're just catching up, it's ready for a final coat. I'm gonna do some light sanding. Got the sander there. Did a little bit here. And then yeah, very light sanding and then final coat. And here's my mixing station. I got this. Oh great, I'm getting a phone call. This is perfect timing. Potential spam, you gotta love it. Being a business owner is great. All right, anyway, this is like a skimming tool, so hopefully it works good for, you know, smoothing out or just, you know, basically pushing the stuff where I need it to go. It's gonna be a pretty thin layer. I don't know, I was debating if I should do, oh dang, I didn't realize how big of a run that is. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's kind of to be intended with a spot like that. You almost need to tape it up or something, but not too worried about it. Like I said, it's a workbench after all. So yeah, this final coat will be nice, and then I can actually use this sucker half a year later. I'm gonna sand it and apparently use some of this to wipe it down. And yeah, all right, here we go. I'm gonna need to put All right. It's good enough for another layer if we need, but not sure. We'll see. I don't think this cracking or whatever is ever gonna go away, but it's on purpose. It's by design. But honestly, no, it kind of is cool. It's like a nice contrast. So hopefully this layer cures well, and then I can just do one final thin layer on the top. I guess it's like a finish coat, and then yeah, that should be it. But it's looking really good. I'm sure it's gonna have, you know, I'm no epoxy expert, but I can see there's already gonna be some. It's not like a perfectly smooth epoxy job. Hopefully some of them bubbles come out. Hopefully they don't get worse, is what it is at this point, you know. You can see it's like, I cannot fill the spot, so I don't know. Probably a hole right under there, it's just dripping. No, it's not, but anyway. It's coming along, I think, yeah, one more final coat, and then it's gonna be a done deal, hopefully. Hopefully, I don't know. It's hard to say if this stuff, I've literally never worked with this stuff before, so it's hard to say if it's gonna cure, honestly. Your guess is as good as mine. If you're looking for an epoxy tutorial, go watch one. I probably should have. I kind of like to figure things out as I go, as you can tell. This clearly was not the plan exactly, but I'm loving how it's going, so. All right. Peace. Okay, what's up, guys? Just came down here quick to check things out, and I'm pretty stoked with the results so far. Ooh. Yeah, that's like butter. That's nice. So, you can see some of these, like, the crystalline or whatever, you know, the epoxy that didn't cure, right? You know, it's never gonna go away, but it just is what it is. After all, this is a workbench. It's gonna get beat up. So, this is an awesome learning experience. Hit this with another final coat to fill in some of these, you know, little imperfections. This hole is still taking on, so I don't even know. Maybe a hole goes down to, you know, to Narnia or something, but that's crazy. I've put quite a bit of epoxy in there, and it's still just taking it. So, other than that, everything's, I mean, it's like, I'm freaking stoked. I'm so glad that that actually sealed things up. So yeah, now one final coat, it will be chef's kiss. All right, catch you up on the flip flop. Bye. All right, guys, we are back. She is solid. Did a little light sanding here. Some 220 grit. It's gonna do a little light sanding, get some of this rough spots down. And then final, this will be the final coat. Basically a finished thin coat.
My pool.
What?
My pool.
Your pool? Anyway, gonna do a little sanding, the whole thing, and the final layer, and then I will show you guys that as I do it, but obviously this little dude's not gonna be here, so I will keep you guys updated shortly here. Okay, it is official. I am done. Check that out. Got it in the sun to see the natural light on it. Makes everything pop way better. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm not trying to be too loud. I got neighbors next door, so they might think I'm weird just talking to myself. Anyway, this is looking... I ended up doing one additional coat after the one I just showed you guys, just to give it one final. There was a couple little spots, and so I just decided, you know, I have the epoxy. Couple things I noted. Some of these seams are splitting a little bit, and I think that's just because I crowned them probably this way, and obviously I only used little pin nails, so, and some glue, but could have probably done something a little different there, but either way, it's fine. Other than that, yeah, this thing looks freaking solid. It looks so much better in the natural light. see the almost looks like crystallization underneath some of these layers. You know, I think where I got I think my mixture ratio was just wrong. I think that's what I've concluded, or not the ratio, but I scraped the sides of the buckets to try to get the most of it, and I think that is what caused all this. So you live and you learn, and this was definitely a learning project for me, but I am so glad. All right, well, catch you on the next one as it be. Later.